You have a mixed background. You college educated, U.S. Marine. For me, didn't have the honor of serving, so we'll just go with college educated. The corporate term that they like to throw on us is high performers, right? We walk into a situation and, we immediately jump in as leaders and start doing things. You have that additional set of acronyms and books and wisdom that comes from the U.S. Marine Corps. But there's a huge difference between a fighting force or a corporate executive team and a Masonic Lodge, because we're talking about a volunteer organization here. And I wanted to get to this question because there is that level of frustration sometimes when you're used to being in a position of authority and you're used to having to make quick decisions. How do you do that in a sometimes slow moving volunteer organization without causing friction among the brothers?
The question is, how do you make decisions in that kind of environment?
How do you lead in a situation where you get to a point when you go from your everyday professional life, when you're living by these codes, and now you're in a lodge with some of the brothers that are like, bro, I'm just here for dinner.
It's way easier, to be honest with you, because you already have, it's like, I don't know if you're a baseball fan, but it's like going up and you have some donuts on the bat, and you're on deck and you're swinging it, it's heavier, and then you finally go to swing that bat and it feels light as a feather.
Right.
That's the analogy. And it's very, very, very accurate, because when I, at least speaking for me and what I would advise other people to do, my whole Masonic year, I was Worshipful Master of William R. Singleton, Hope, Love, and Lodge number 7 in Masonic year 2025. That whole year was planned out by June 2024. It was done. So, and I had backup plans to that because I applied this other acronym that we don't have to get into right now called MCPP, which is the Marine Corps planning process, right?
Oh, that was way more fun to say. Why didn't you say that earlier?
The old MCPP.
Oh, that's going to get its own.
We were at the high school level. That's like postgraduate degree level, right?
MCPP. That's getting its own notepad card. I'm going to be researching that one tonight.
That is the logistician's bread and butter, the MCPP. Right. So anyway, so I applied this process and everything was sort of plug and play. So when it came to dealing with the lodge, whether it was like the ongoing activities of the year or of a particular state of communication, I already knew exactly what the plan was because I had developed a 5-paragraph order, right? Because I had applied BAMSIS, like all this stuff was already working and functioning. I think that maybe to get a little bit deeper into your question, how would we lead, or how would I lead specifically when there would be an event that would occur that maybe was contentious or it was slow and like something kind of like unexpected happens? That's a simple answer too. And that really doesn't have that much to do, a little bit, with some of these acronyms, but it's really about, for me, and this is totally personal, putting it into perspective. Like, how important is it that what we're actually talking about right now? How much do I care about it? And am I going to be one of those people who I'm really going to dig into something because I'm the worshipful master and like, how dare you, blah, blah, blah? Or am I going to try to understand the human behind there? I'm going to go back to it. Know my Masons, right? Understand where they're coming from, their different backgrounds, their perspectives. We have a lot of cultural diversity in this district. Perhaps it's an ethnic or a religious perspective that they're coming into the conversation with, or just simply a broader cultural perspective, and they have an opinion about something and they're disagreeing with this other person. Taking a moment, pausing, considering all aspects of that, and coming to some sort of amicable solution after having already what we call prep the battlefield of who I am. People know me and know my leadership style, and hopefully I've garnered some semblance of respect. So when I do speak and I do try to adjudicate something in a position of leadership, I'm listened to as opposed to ignored because I'm viewed as a weak leader, then there's some kind of a solution and remedy that I can apply to that situation. And that happened several times throughout there. And I thought that, I could be wrong, but based upon my perception, I think that those situations were handled with in a way that everybody was satisfied and we had harmony prevail in the lodge.
Right. And that's kind of where the sweet melted, cheese sandwich of Masonry and your Marine training can kind of come together, right? Because at the end of the day, you're still dealing with people. So you might have all of the processes and systems and ideas and the framework of how to execute things, and are used to being in a situation where not a lot of questions are going to come flowing up to the chain of command, right? Guys are going to do what they're told to do because they understand it. But in a volunteer organization, just like, in some of our workplaces, you do have those people that are just there socially or casually, and they're not maybe 100% invested. And as you're saying, like, that's where the real inner leadership I don't want to say even skills. I mean, those are the freaking traits right there, man. That's the stuff that's like in your DNA, is that you know how to go up and engage with somebody and take what's important to you, make sure that is relatable to them, that they buy into what we're doing, and we move through that goal and that mission together. And that's the kind of stuff that I don't know if there's a way to teach that. That is one of the things that you can learn through maybe instruction and in witnessing somebody do it, but I can't point to a book on a shelf and say, read this and you'll get everything you need to know.